Hi everyone and welcome to my update for my A to Z project pan. I've done this one a little bit earlier than usual. My last update's been around the middle of the month, so this is only going to be about a 2-week time since my last one. I'll see how I go about trying to now stick to this schedule instead, because I'd much prefer to do them at the beginning of the month. So without any further ado, thanks for watching. Let's start with A. So for A, I've got this Avon Smooth Minerals eyeshadow pencil in the colour Pebble. Last update was 4.52 grams. I actually measured it, went to use it and went, you know what, it needs sharpening. So it is just now, after I've sharpened it, 4.48 grams, so that's a difference of 0.04 grams. So I am making some progress on this, but it's fairly slow going. I tend to reach for my purples over my browns, so I'm not getting as much use on this as I probably could be, and I don't think I'm going to hit my goal, but I'm going to keep working on it and try and get through as much as I can. It would be really nice to see the cap coming down over this by the end of the year. We'll see how we go with the 6 months or so left of the year. For B, I've got this bronzer. It's the NYX Matte Bronzer in Light. Let's see how we go about getting a good... Yeah, it's hard to see in this light. There is a dip. There is some obvious brush movement in the middle there. Probably easier to see to the eye than it is in what I can see on the tablet here. So this one is now at 48.63 grams, down from 48.65 grams. So a small bit of movement. We'll see how we go. I use it most days, but not every single day. But it is pretty much the only bronzer I'm using. So it looks like it's going to take me a while to get through that. For C, I've got this Dramatically Different moisturiser from Clinique. So this is currently 17.42 grams, was 17.69 at the last update. I'm really bad at remembering to use this. I say it every time. I put it in here to try and encourage me to use it. So what have I got? About 0.25 grams from last time, which looks like it was better than the time before. I actually used it tonight when I got out the shower. Looks like it's more than half done, so I'll keep using this and try and see if I can't get it close to done by the end of the year, if I don't get it done. For D, I've got this Dark Circle Eraser, Maybelline Age Rewind one. I don't use this as often as I should either. It's currently 25.06 grams, down from 25.11 grams. So I have used it a couple of times, but not an awful lot. And again, I've used this as much in the last 2 weeks since my last update as I did in the update before of the 4 weeks. And it is slowly moving. It's now down to basically the Maybelline there. So I can see some movement, just not great heaps of it. For E, I've got this 11 Miracle Hair Treatment. Again, not great at remembering to use this, because it says to apply to damp hair, and usually by the time I've remembered that I should actually go and grab this, my hair's dry. So again, need to really make a point of using this. I also don't particularly love the smell of this. It's kind of coconutty, and I don't really like coconut very much at all, fake or real. That being said, I must have used it at least once since the last update, because I've used up 0.07 grams since the last update. So I'm now at 144.49, whereas last update I was 144.56. So a little bit of movement, not a whole lot. And yeah, I need to remember to put this in when my hair's still damp. For F, I've got the Fix Pluses. So I think at the beginning of the year I decided I wanted to try and get through 20 grams. Each of these is theoretically 2.5 mil. I think they're actually closer to 3 grams. But I would like to get through the 8 of these, or say 7 of these plus some of my big bottle. So far I finished 4 of them. So I was up to 3 last time. I've got another empty one now. Tiny bit in the bottom that the straw doesn't seem to like to get. I am keeping these. I'm going to try and see if I can't take them apart and pour the little bits that are left over in each of them into one. Might be a waste of time, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, 4 down, 4 to go. Plus I am using my big bottle, which I forgot to weigh. So it'll be interesting to see how much of that I've used as well. So it'll probably, I can't see me not, I think there's a good chance I'll get through all 8 of these, possibly on top of what I use out of my big bottle. So to me that would be a success. For G, I've got this Glimmer Sticks in Mocha Flash from Avon. I can see that it is getting shorter. I didn't actually measure how long it was, but there's not much movement on the weight difference. But yeah, I'm still working on this. Again, it's a brown, so I don't use brown as much as I have been using my purples, but every now and again I will use that. So it is something that I do use, just not every day. For H, I've got the Happy Booster Blush from Physicians Formula. I've dropped this and repressed it a number of times. My goal at the moment still stands to try and clear half of this pan. Probably at about 1/3 of it at the moment so far. So I think it is a possibility. I'm using this pretty much every day that I wear makeup. It's currently at 44.08 grams, which is, so I've used up about 0.1 grams since the last update. I think it started off at about 7 grams. As you can see, it's broken. So I think, yeah, there's supposed to be about 7 grams of product in there, all up. So I've used about 1/2 gram for the year so far. So yeah, steady on she goes with that one. For I, I've got this In the Gallery quad from MAC, and my goal is to hit pan on all 4 shades. I can't remember whether I'd had pan on this one last time or whether I did, but it was hard to see. But it's getting reasonably obvious now. Just leaves this one, and I'm so close on this one. But I've been finding that most of the time I use a bigger brush, so it's not really getting down into the hole as much. And I'd really like to do that because I really want to repress this one. Because it seems to have this really bad hard pan situation going on. So yeah, I'm really waiting to hit that 4th pan on this one so I can repress this one. Currently at 49.71 grams, so I've used 0.05 grams since the last update, and 0.25, excuse me, about 2.5 grams, 0.25 grams since the beginning of the year. So I am using it. That's the one that I'm using most days where I wear makeup, so probably 3 or 4 days a week. So next I've got for J this Unforgettable Sheer Passion Body Mist from Avon, which I actually remembered to bring home from work this time, but I forgot to weigh, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so we're at 133.26 grams. And because I keep forgetting to bring it home and weighing it, I don't have an update from last time, but I did start in the end of February when I first recorded it at 144.76 grams. So I've used about 10 grams, which isn't too bad considering I've sort of put that one aside for the most part at the moment. It's more of a sort of summery fragrance. I'm using other things at the moment, but I am now at the bottom of that box there. So yeah, I've made some good progress on this. It'd be nice to have it done by the end of the year, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that. Thinking maybe the bottom of the barcode. I can't remember what I thought at the beginning of the year where I was going to get on this one. Maybe the bottom of the label. But yeah, it's slowly going, which is really all I want. For Kay, I've got the Kiss by Rihanna fragrance sample, which I finished. It looks like I must have finished it sometime since my last update. But I've got a bag where I've put all the little empty Fix Pluses I've used and the other couple of things I've used this year in, but I can't find that at the moment. So it's another one done. So that's K ticked off the list that I've finished. But yeah, hopefully by the time I do the next update I will find where I've done with it and I can show you the empty. But I mean, it was only just one of those little vials similar to the Fix Plus size vials, sort of the 2.5 millers. So it was always likely that I was going to get it finished, but it is one less thing hanging around that I wasn't using, so it's because it's gone now. So yay. For Elle, I've got the lip butter. Here we go, Palmer's lip butter in dark chocolate and cherry. This one I might actually just reweigh because I have used it a couple of times since I weighed it before. What are we at to? So when I weighed it earlier tonight, it was at 7.38 grams. Right now it appears to be showing 7.35 grams. Yeah. So at the weight before, I'd used up 0.1 gram of it. Now I've used up 0.13 grams of it. There's really not much less left. I don't think I'm going to be able to see through it all that easily. Yeah, no. I think it's sitting right down there. This one's always hard to tell because the stuff inside is quite clear. I think it's sitting about there, plus the fact it's got the splits down the side, so air gets in and kind of mixes it up, and that throws it a bit too. But it's really getting towards the end, so I'm really expecting that I'll have this one done by my next update. Yeah, even if I just remember to use it a couple of times every now and again, so a couple of times in a night every now and again, I think I should still manage to have that one done by the next update. I've got this Maple Taffy lip balm from Lush. I haven't really used this a whole lot. It sits in my makeup bag that goes to work, but with the current situation I've been tending to favour lip balms in tubes over this one during the day, and particularly because at the moment I'm in an area that I don't usually work in that's a bit more public from what I usually do, so I'm not sort of using this as much at the moment. That being said, I'm at 9.05 grams, which is still 0.05 grams used since the last time I weighed it. And what are we? About 1.7 grams since the beginning of the year. Thinking I should be able. My goal was to try and hit the bottom tin of this by the end of the year. I've sort of been working on the sides a little bit as well while I'm doing that, rather than just sticking down in the middle. I can't see any reason why I can't do that by the end of the year, but we'll see how we go. For N, I've got some hand cream. It's the Naturals by Avon Peppermint and Vanilla hand cream, and I'm going great guns on this one. I was actually a bit surprised at how much I've gone through of this, because it's not the most moisturising hand cream in the world, so I'll sort of use this once a day, and then if I feel like I need something more, I've got another one which I think is actually, it's a P, so it's also in this project. But yeah, I was sort of expecting that this would be more waiting until the end of the year to finish, but I've only got that much left, so I'm really pleased with that. It's currently at 81.73 grams, which is only, well, about 1.75-ish, about 1.8 grams that I've used since the last update, which surprises me a bit considering how much I've seemed to have gone through on this one, and the fact that I'd used nearly 7 grams in the update before. But yeah, can't see why I won't have this one done by the end of the year. I do like the smell of it. It's very runny and it's not particularly moisturising, so it's not my favourite, but it smells nice enough. So yeah, happy to use it up and get it done. For O, I've got the Old Blue Skies Is Back Shower Gel from Lush. Currently sitting at 65.17 grams. Previously was at 69.35 grams. Starting to use this one a little bit more as it's coming into colder weather, because I've used as much in the last 2 weeks as I had in the month beforehand. Pretty much since February to, middle of May, I've used about 5 grams, and then in the last 2 weeks I've used nearly 2. So yeah, certainly using this one a little bit more now, and I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the year. It's a bit hard to tell because I've kind of jiggled it, but it's pretty much sitting at the bottom of that label now. So it would be nice to have this one gone, because it is quite old, and as it's sat, it's got thicker and thicker, which means it's harder and harder to get it out the bottle. For P, I've got the Planet Spa hand cream from Avon. African shea butter. It's really quite nice smelling, this one. I think I've said before that I wouldn't mind finding another shea butter product if I could find one that smelled like this. I have been using this a little bit more recently because it is a nice thick, luscious, moisturising hand cream, much more so than the peppermint one. It's currently at 33.88 grams. Last time was 36.9. So I've used, what's that, nearly 3 grams, just over 3 grams. Which is again about as much as I'd used in the previous month, that I've used again in the previous 2 weeks. I'm not sure how. This one keeps sort of going up the sides, but it looks like it's sitting about there at the moment. So yeah, I should have this one done by the end of the cold weather. As I said, I really do like it, but it's been hanging around for a while, so it'll be nice to get it out. Okay, so Q, I hit my goal on last month. For R, I've got this Baron's Rose lipstick from MAC, and I have used it a few times, but the weight hasn't changed when I went to weigh it. I've been tending not to reach for this one so much lately. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. I don't know if I'll reach my goal on that one. It's not looking promising. For S, I've got the Super Shock eyeliner in Plumful from Avon. This is down to 2.71 grams. Yeah, that's what it's looking like, and I'm almost getting to the point where there's only about a cap between the top of it and this base bit here. And when I put the lid on, it goes all the way down to the O. So I am certainly can see that I'm making progress on this one, even though the weight doesn't seem to change much and it does take a little while to get through. I used up 0.03 from the last update, which is about half of what I've been using in the previous months. Yeah, so just keep plugging away on this one. It's what I'm using most days when I'm using the purples, and occasionally when I use the taupes, because I do think it goes nicely with the taupes as well. But yeah, I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the year. I think I'm going to get fairly close on this one, which will be nice, because it is very old and it's getting quite dry. So the tea I finished last in March. For you, I've got the Ultra Balm from Lush, which I'm using mainly as a lip balm, and I'm hoping to hit the bottom of the tin on this. But again, I'm scraping down the sides as I go as well, rather than drilling straight down the middle. It's currently at 26.29 grams, which wasn't huge since the last update. But again, it's a pop product, so finding it harder to reach for it at the moment. But I can't see why I won't have it done by the end of the year. It started off at 45 grams of product. It's now at just over 26, including the tin, so I'm well more than half done of it. And yeah, I'm thinking I can still probably reach my goal by the end of the year. For V, I've got the Viva Glam Gaga 2 lip gloss from MAC, currently at 13.21 grams, so I've used up 0.07 grams from last time, which isn't too bad actually, looking at my usage for the month before. This is one where I forget about it for ages and then I remember it and I use it a couple of times in fairly quick succession. That gives you a good idea of where I'm up to, and it's actually sitting reasonably straight at the moment. So yeah, I'm down basically to the bottom of the second S there, about there. So yeah, it's nice to see that it is moving, and I look forward to having it done, because it's not a shade that really flatters me. When I use it, I tend to use it over a more reddy lipstick, and it gives me more of a sort of a nudie colour, rather, because this one's quite cool and grey, and I don't think it really looks that great on me by itself. Listen to them girls at the back counter when they tell you when they try and steer you away from buying something. W, I've got this Footworks foot cream from Avon. It's currently at 82.42 grams. Previously it was 85.23, so I've used almost 3 grams since the last time I weighed it. I marked a line on it where I'm up to, so I'm probably around about halfway through this one now. Yeah, thereabouts. See where it's sitting, kinda. This one I tend to remember to use more in the summer, when I don't always have something on my feet to try and stop me being cold, so I haven't used it quite as much as I'd started off when it was warm, purely because I don't have bare feet to put it on. So if I'm going to use it, it tends to be as I'm getting into bed, whereas before I was using it because I was sitting there with bare feet and I go, oh yeah, foot cream, I think I can get it done by the end of the year, considering we're about halfway through the year and about halfway through the foot cream. For X, I've got this Magix Face Primer, Face Perfector, Magic Face Primer, from Avon. My goal was to get it to about there, which is hard to tell because it kind of pulls in the middle, because it's, as I'm using it, it's sort of indenting through the middle, and then it's kind of sitting weirdly in there. I think if I was to actually put some air in there and get it to settle, I'd probably have actually reached my goal on this one. I haven't been using it all that much lately because I've been using a BB cream that's theoretically supposed to have primer and stuff in it. So it's been a bit like, well, if I'm going to use that and it's got primer in it, why would I use this as well? So I've kind of stopped using this a little bit at the moment with the base products that I'm using. So it actually hasn't moved in weight since my last update. For Y, I've got the Yuzu and Cocoa Shower Cream from Lush. Used 0.05 grams of it since last time, so I think I might have used it once. But yeah, probably will use it a bit more in spring. We didn't really have much of an autumn. We sort of went from fairly warm to fairly cool fairly quickly, and this for me I think is more of a in-between spring and autumn weather type product. My goal is to get it down to 250 grams. I might do that, I may not, we'll see how we go. Might have been a bit ambitious. So for Z, I've got the free shower gel from Lush. As you can see, I was struggling to find Ys and Zs. This one is 431.91 grams, which is 0.1 grams less than it was last time I weighed it. So I guess I must have used it a couple once or twice, which surprises me, or it may have just dehydrated more. Because it started off fairly runny, it's getting a bit thicker as it's sitting. So it may just have been the angels taking their share, as Mark Constantine says when people complain that their soaps are underweight. My goal for this one is 425 grams by the end of the year, which still seems possible, particularly if I start using it more when the weather starts warming up again. Well, that was that A to Z. As you can see, I'm still making progress on most of these. It's slow and steady. And I'll see you maybe in a month. We'll see how we go with another update and hopefully more slow and steady progress. Alrighty. Hopefully you enjoy watching these. And hopefully you'll stick around for the next one. Thanks guys, good night.